Hi guys, Melvin here again. Today I am bringing you the fourth game, one of the games from round 4 in the Copenhagen Regionals, Denmark. And this is Andreas on the left, flying big star glider with M9G8 and the integrated astromech. He's got Kanan Jarrus in the Ghost with a fire control system, twin laser turret, recon specialist, which I didn't spell correctly, but you know what it is, and the tactical jammer and the Ghost title. And he's got Zeb Aurelius in the Phantom attack shuttle with an auto blaster and chopper crew. On the right you got Casper, who is flying Rear Admiral Chirinu with veteran instincts, hotshot co-pilot, rebel captive and gunner, and he's got the engine upgrade to boost. And then he's got Darth Vader in the TIE Advanced with the TIE X1 title, Duke, advanced targeting computer and engine upgrade. So the build to the right, the Rear Admiral Chirinu with hotshot co-pilot and gunner, is kind of the new hotness out of Heroes of the Resistance, because hotshot co-pilot allows you to take away the enemy's focus when you shoot or when they shoot you. And if you miss, you can shoot again with gunner, which means they won't have their focus left. It's a good counter to defenders with all their token stacks and against mind-linked scum lists, which means some of them have 2 or even 3 focus tokens due to minor usability. And then he's decided to have Rebel Captive to give out stress to whoever shoots him first, which is one of the options. The other options for the same point is to go with the Darth Vader crew, which of course Casper can't do here because he's got Darth Vader in the TIE Advanced. If you have him on the Rear Admiral, it adds that extra insurance to do some real damage if you go through the shields. And it's especially nasty if you play fan fighters or interceptors, or against them. And there's a lot of Fenrau and Altera going around in the mind link lists. So Darth Vader is a good choice there. However, Rebel Captive can also be very good against stuff that doesn't like stress. So we'll see, which also happens to be mind links sometimes. But if you have a lot of TIE defenders without the engine upgrade that makes banks green, it could be nasty. It's good against push the limit stuff. There's a lot of shadow casters with push the limit, counters Raya with push the limit, and there's always going to be Jake, interceptors and Corin Horns and stuff with push the limit, which means Rebel Captive is a good choice. Because those ships more or less auto die if they get double stressed, and you then can shoot them again with hotshot co-pilot and gunner. So we'll see here. Both players have moved up slowly. We'll see the new droid, the M9G8 on Biggs here, that makes enemies, let's see what they did. I think it makes them reroll stuff. I'm gonna figure it out pretty soon here. Yeah, that's the right one. If you have them target locked, you can make them reroll the attack die. So we have seen the Rear Admiral really boost up here, getting in behind to avoid the tactical jammer on the Ghost, I guess, here to get a clear shot of Biggs. I guess he would like to do just as much damage as possible before the Rear Admiral goes down, because the Decimator tends to do that with its 0 agility and crit susceptibility. But same thing goes for the Ghost here. So if the Rear Admiral, with his ability to turn focus into crits at range 1 and 2, can do that a few times into the Ghost before he dies, that could be a big game changer here. So we'll see. So there appears to be no range. And then there's a nice corridor at the top of the map there, behind those rocks. So I guess Casper wants the Rear Admiral to go in behind them, because Biggs will have a hard time getting away with the Ghost on one end and those rocks next to it. So we'll see here. Probably hard 2 from Rack and a hard turn as well from Vader here. While Kanan might do a K turn here, as well as have Biggs try to go in between the rocks. Like a bank 2 from Biggs. 3 maybe. Hard to see here, the distance, using the camera. Yeah, I think they're done here. Yeah, let's see what they've done then. So we're gonna have, just double checking their dials here. Yeah, they're set. So Kanan going first, that's a good thing. Kanan and Biggs, because they are both, this is a Pirates go 5. It's just a 1 forward there. He wants to have a shot to trigger his fire control system on the decimator. And then he can just either do his primary out the front or the back due to having the shuttle there, and then a TLT in the end. And let's see, oh, he's banking the other way. He wants a distance instead of rock coverage, which of course you don't know what the rear admiral is doing, and the decimator has boost. So, but I was, well, maybe a 3 hard as well with Rack just to get as close as possible there, and then a boost. So yeah, Vader does hard turn in. The asteroid setup is very favorable for all ships here. They're very in line, so to speak, so it's easy to do the hard turns around them. And there's nice corridors everywhere. So I don't think we're going to have any ships ending up on rocks here, unless they somehow mess up pretty badly. So Vader takes a focus. And well, it's not going to be in range, so it doesn't really matter as long as he doesn't want to boost or do something like that. And then we have, I think we're missing a card on the Kanan there. I think he has a ray as well equipped, because you can see the ray card with 2 focus tokens on it. So there should be a ray as well in the Ghost to save those focus tokens, which is a very good build. So that was a slow move by the rear admiral, followed up by a boost because there was no range. I guess he wants to have a shot at Biggs without facing any return fire from the Ghost. So if he could stay out of range 3 from the Ghost, that would be the best option here, but I don't think there's the angle for it. Focus back to Kanan. So this Ray Kanan combo is really good, since Kanan can reduce the attack dice coming our way if he's in range 1 and 2, which he's not now. So we have Rack on Biggs. And that looks like 2. And here's the drawback to the VI Rack is you don't have Predator, which sometimes is the better. So he's going to spend the focus due to hot-shot co-pilot, and then he's going to be the second attack and only 1, which is, again, sometimes Predator is the better choice. It all depends on the matchup, and in this game Predator would have served him better, but against high pilot skill, VI can be the good one. So then we have a primary shot from Kanan, and if he can just do more damage into Rack here than Rack can do into Biggs, he's going to be good. Because Vader will hate the TLT from Kanan's ship in the end game if that's what we're faced with. So I guess he's thinking if he's going to do primary shot or a TLT. TLT is going to be 2, well, it's going to be 2 green dice due to range, no, just 1 from the TLT. But 2 green dice to the primary attack due to range and rock, but I'd go primary here, just for the potential of actually doing 4 damage. Yeah, that's what he's doing. And spending a focus for 3, which is about what you should expect. And nothing, it looks like. So that should be 3 hits. So 3 shields from Rack and fire control system triggers, which is exactly what he wants. And then we have we're going to have the TLT shot from Kanan here. TLT 1, 2 damage, so that means 1 goes through, because there's only going to be 1 green die. And the second TLT shot, another 3 natural, so which means it's good. What you need to remember here is, like, if you have TLT in Fire Control System, if you spend the focus on the first shot, it doesn't get back, you don't trigger it again until after the second shot, so you can't use even everyone. You have to pick one of the 2 TLT shots to use the target lock on, and then it reacquires with Fire Control System at the end of the attack. So into the next round, and there's another slow move because he doesn't want the Rear Admiral to stay, within range of Biggs, but not of Kanan. I think both players are doing this very good here because Casper really wants to kill Biggs without the tactical jammer triggering, and Andreas is really trying to get Biggs on the other side. However, the Ghost's shot at the back is just as powerful as that of the front, and that will ruin the Decimator pretty quick here. So he needs to bring in Vader to make the target priority difficult, because Vader can really wreck the Ghost when he has this target lock acquired to get that guaranteed crit. And with no defense dice, 1 crit every turn can really cripple the Ghost. However, if he decides to not token up, spend 1 action on the target lock, the he's going for the range 1 shot here as well. That's being a bit greedy, and it also makes sure he has a hard 3 probably fits next turn, but if there's just a 1 straight from the Ghost, there's no way for Vader to go. So I think he overcommitted here. I think he should have stayed put, taken the focus and the target lock. Because if you do that, you can see if you have range 3 to Biggs or not. Because you can't shoot Kanan as long as Biggs is in range 1 of him and in range of Vader there. So, well, we'll see. Because now he wants to get the target lock, and that means he will have nothing defensively. If he's in range 1 of the Ghost, there won't be any TLT on him, but I don't think Andreas cares because he's going to try to take the Decimator down as quick as possible. I also like the fact that he's got Auto Blaster on Zeb here, so once the shuttle pops out, it's a real threat to those small nimble ships with not too much hit points, too many hit points. So Casper is thinking hard about his second action with Vader, maybe even regretting his boost there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He might have been out of. Ooh, he's going all out offensively on Biggs here. Well, this turn it's okay because he knows if he's in range 1, there is not going to be a TLT shot on him. But still, it's going to be 2 naked dice through Kanan, who is going to spend his focus tokens to reduce Vader's damage because he's going to take away 1 of those dice. And there's only been 1 shield taken out of Biggs, as far as I know. And Biggs has a target lock on the Rear Admiral, so he can force the Rear Admiral to reroll 1 die. I will say here, my bet right now would be on the Rebels, but we'll see what the dice decides, because it tends to be able to change things. So yeah, there's a 3rd focus token added from the Ray crew to accompany the recon spec focus tokens. So we're going to have Rear Admiral first. Looks like a range 3 to Biggs. The question is, will he be able to push any damage through? At least there is no tactical jammer on this shot. And at range 3 his ability doesn't trigger. So he just wants to do this and hope he gets the evade to take away the focus with Hotshot Copilot. And then he shoots again with his real attack, and again just not getting it. And this is, again, as I said, I think Predator is the better choice. I did try a similar build in my prep for the tournament, where I had Cantus Ryad instead of Vader, and I had the same rack, but I had Predator instead of VI, and I had Vader instead of Captive, which is just a personal choice, but I think Predator is preferred EPT here, even against higher pilot skill, because you still have the turret. I guess, and I mean, if you have Vader crew, interceptors, dodging you doesn't really scare you. And that's Vader's attack into Biggs, which looks like it was cleanly evaded. And now we'll see how much damage we can. Oh, it might be TLT range to Vader, but I think you go primary first into the decimator here, because the decimator is shieldless, I think, and yeah, just the right crit here would really hurt. No, it looks like he's TLTing Vader with all of his attacks. And so that one is probably going to go through, yeah. So one shield, and again. Spending the focus again. More shields going off for Vader. And now his fire control system is going to trigger. And he's run out of focus tokens, but he's got that. Oh, okay, just ice again from the turret lock. And Vader evades that one. He's remembering to remove the target lock, and another hit into Vader. I'm trying to figure out why he's rerolling one dice all the time. Ah, okay, he's got Biggs as target locked cannon, so he gets that from Biggs M9G8 droid, which reads, if we want the exact wording, when a ship you have locked is attacking and it shoots one attack die, the attacker must reroll that die. You can target lock your friendly ships, so it's coming from that droid. And that is pretty good when you have a TLT. Initially I thought he was going to use it defensively with a target lock on the Rear Admiral, which I thought he had, but he did have it on Kanan. It's just unfortunate if you run into Vessery, who's going to use it against you. But in this game, I guess you don't do it in that game. In this game, of course, helping the TLT with that is just providing a lot of efficiency, especially against a ship like Vader, who has no auto thrusters. So that turn, we saw Vader go to 2 hit point left. And oh dear God, Vader is going to end up in a rock, it looks like. That's a really brave move. And I need to just hold everything down here to see if it ends up. I guess his back corner is going to clip that rock. We'll see when the hands are removed. It's fiddly. It looks like he's wobbling Vader there, so I guess Vader's on the rock. Maybe not. Well, hard to say here. Let's see if they roll for it. Looks like he's on the rock. Yeah, he was on the rock. And I think this is a dead Vader. No shots, and you could eat 4, maybe 5 dice from the rear end of the ghost there. And then we have the hard turn from the Rear Admiral, just trying to catch up here. And as long as Biggs is at range 3, the Rear Admiral ability doesn't trigger, and he's not in a good position to boost. And if he does, he has no modifications at all except his ability. Again, coming down to him having VI instead of Predator, and in this matchup, of course, Predator would be the better one. Against higher pilot skill, maybe VI is the better one. He's thinking about the action from the Rear Admiral here, and I don't know if a 1 bank boost fits. And even if it does it matter? Because the Ghost is going to kill Vader on the first shot, and then he's going to be TLTing into the Decimator. Looks like he stays where he is. Doesn't think he's taken an action yet. Well, we'll see. He decides to target lock bigs. Okay. I think that's a good call. He needs to burn bigs down. And a focus from Ray. So Ray is now focusless. And there are 3 focus tokens on the board next to Kanan. So there's going to be a lot of modifications for his TLT shots as well as his primary. Well, for all of them. And he's not going to be taking any fire back. So, and 3, is he using his No, this is the rear admiral. Okay. So this is where you normally predator the hit into a miss, just to take away the focus. But instead, there's 1 hit going through, rendering the hotshot co-pilot more or less useless, since Vader does not have a shot as well. And then we have Kanan, who is going to blast Vader to Kingdom Come. He has target lock as well as a focus and a 4 attack die roll here. Maybe a 5 if it's a range 1, which I think it is. Let's see how many dice they decide to roll. Oh, indeed, 5 dice. And he's going to spend the target lock. And that's a dead Vader. That's if he wants to spend a focus. Yeah, he has to, because you don't want to risk him rolling 3 natural evades. Because now he can do that and still die. So that's the end of the Dark Lord of the Sith. Looks like he actually got 2 evades. But Vader is dead. And then we are checking range to the rear admiral, and I think he was out of range. So he's going to place 1 of the focus tokens onto Ray, and then we're on to a new round. And well, with Big still alive, this is Andrea's game to lose now. Because in order to kill Biggs, he probably has to get into range of Kanan this turn. If Kanan, well, doesn't really matter what Kanan does. I think it will be range anyway. Because the Decimator can't really slow roll due to it having a big base. So maybe the best thing here is try to get into range 1 on the side of the ghost, but that's tricky at best. And Biggs just surfs behind the big ghost there in the engine wash. I don't see anything Casper could actually do, but he just hoped to get lucky here. He needs to get into range 2 to do damage on Biggs, enough damage. He needs his ability to trigger because he does not have Predator. He needs to take a target lock instead of using his engine to get modifications. So what do? Yeah, I don't know, it's a good question. We'll see if he can pull something out here. So, and it also looks like he's got that rock in between him and Biggs, so Biggs is probably going to live this turn as well. He is thinking on the action. Maybe he does have a target lock already, because he did get one last turn, didn't he? Yeah, he did. So he can boost. Yeah, I guess that's the best option, because you want to be in range 1, or range 2 at least. But there might be a rock. No, looks like the boost worked. So now he's actually in a position to do some damage to Biggs. So if he can take bigs off here with a 4-hit, is that even possible? Integrates it as well. And maybe he's got, no, I think he needs 2 turns of shooting to kill bigs here. We'll see. We shall see. So here is, yeah, Kanan takes away one of the dice. Sorry. And so that looks like losing the focus and taking 1 again. The bigs is shieldless, but I don't think he's taken a damage card yet. And then we're gonna have 4 TLTs into the rear admiral here. Gets the stress from the rebel captain, which doesn't really matter in this game because he's just gonna do a green move. And he gets, well, enough. He doesn't need his focus or his target lock when he uses the TLT into the rear admiral, because no green dice mean the TLT will just slowly punch through. So that's 2 damage from the initial shot. Then he gets the fire control system target lock, which is probably redundant. And then he gets enough and enough. So that was 4 damage. So the rear admiral is severely damaged. And this turn we might see a primary at the back from the ghost as well, which will do even more damage. So he's just going to do something to clear the stress. Yeah, just the 1 straight. Is it 1 straight green? I think the 2 straight is green. I'm not really sure. I don't fly the ghost very often. I did try a build with the Lawful Rebel and Dash, and it's well, it was fun. It was dice dependent because you could kill a defender very easily if you got good dice, but you could also hardly dent them if you got bad dice. So there was not the consistency. This build with Kanan is much more efficient in the amount of damage you can do over time, but you need time to do it. Which of course is why you have bigs, is to make sure you have time. And he's switching his target lock because he's realized there is no point in allowing rerolling TLTs into a decimator. And here's the bank from the rear admiral trying to set up a kill shot on bigs, because he could boost now to get into range 1 of bigs, but he will be eating the primary at the back of the ghost here. And that will really hurt. And I don't think the ghost has lost a single shield yet, has it? Maybe, yeah, maybe 2 in the opening shots when Biggs was out of range. So there's really no good choice here for Casper. So he could boost just to make sure he has a range 1 on Biggs. We'll see if he can do some damage into the hull of Biggs, gets the focus from the Ray card, and probably going to take 1 away to reduce the attack from 4 to 3 into Biggs here. And well, there is no focus to strip, so this is where you want to, depending on if it's a hit or he wants to predator this or reroll this into something else. That didn't matter. So it looks like Gunner triggers. And he spends focus again to take away the 4th die. Yeah, you get it, but he spent the focus again. So that's a good thing. Gunner can actually eat through the focus of Kanan, but still. And he does not have the dice on his side. That's clearly. I think that's like the 8th time he did the 3 attack and he just got 1. And he's gonna do the... I don't know what he's doing now because he doesn't have a gunner again. Well, okay, he used the Big's droid to reroll the hit, and then he used the target lock to do the other 2, and then he got this. So now he's 2 damage and probably killing the integrated astromech. That was a crit, which of course he will take on the droid, like R2 does for Luke in the trench run in A New Hope. And now we're going to have a primary out the back into the rear admiral and then a TLT attack as well. So are we guessing 6 damage into the rear admiral here? Okay, it looks good. Spending the focus for 4. I don't think there's a crit though. Yes, there was 1 crit. And that's hard to see, but we'll figure it out if we need to. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 2 TLT will not be enough to kill it. Unless that's a direct hit over there. Which I don't think it was. I think it was too much. Okay. I don't know what that was. Okay, too many dice. So here's the TLT attack. Which is 1 more. And 1 more. So the rear admiral should be down to 1 hit point left, which means he's going to be dead next turn. And the question is, of course, will he kill Biggs before? Which I think he has the potential to do. Because, let's see, Biggs should do a hard 3, I guess. Or 3 bank, just to get as much distance as possible. So it's possible he live, but... So it's going to be 2 focus tokens from the recon specialist. And there is a 3 hard from Biggs. And followed up by a focus token. And then we're going to have a hard turn from the rear admiral. They're sort of pointing. And Biggs, probably a lot of name calling as well. That's a hard 2. And I guess he was thinking that maybe Biggs did the hard 3 the other way to try to block the rear admiral. So do you boost in to try to get the range 1 on Biggs? I guess you do that just to try to kill him, because you're going to be taking away a die anyway from you with the Kanan ability. So a boost here, then hope you kill Biggs to get some MOV. Because otherwise it's 100 to nothing here, because the ghost is nowhere near half points yet. And of course we don't know what the crit is. That might be a, I don't know, but he decided to flip it. Maybe it's a console fire, so he's not going to take the risk. Yeah. So range 2, and he's going to lose a die, so it's going to be 2 dice. So Biggs could potentially live, because he also has M9G8 here, target locked on the decimator. And it looks like hitting a crit, and he's not forcing him to reroll. Which means Biggs, I guess he was figuring it doesn't matter, because the decimator is going to go down now. So here's the primary, and fire control system target lock, and using the focus to just burn him down. That's a good game. Well played, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon as we bring you the game from round 5 here. And have a good one.